Welcome friends. The next part of discussion is extraction of copper. Copper is the 25th most abundant element in the earth crust, whereas in nature it is found in free, that is elemental state, as well as in the combined state. Whereas the important ores of the copper are sulfide ores are there, basic carbonate ores are there, and oxide ores are there. Sulfide ores are copper pyrites CuFeS2 and copper glands Cu2S and the bornite Cu3FeS3. Similarly, basic carbonates malachite, copper carbonate, copper hydroxide 1:1 ratio, azurite 2 times of copper carbonate and 1 time of copper hydroxide is there, oxide ore cuprate, that is Cu2. And whereas in the extraction process, generally copper is extracted from the sulfide ores, and there are two varieties of processes of extraction. One is dry process and second one is wet process. In dry process, if the ore consisting of more than higher percentage of copper, then we will go for the dry process. If it is having lower content of process, then wet process is applied. Whereas dry process consisting of pyrometallurgical processes, smelting is involved, whereas the wet process consisting of hydrometallurgical processes. Extraction of copper by dry process. Whereas dry process includes the concentration is done because here we are taking the help of the copper pyrites, sulfide ore is there, hence the concentration is done by Froth flotation technique. And second one is roasting. Roasting is nothing but heating the ore in presence of oxygen, that is said to be the roasting, and it is done in the reverberatory furnace. Whatever the volatile materials are there, they will be converted to corresponding oxides and will be removed from the system. Sulfur is converted to sulfur dioxide, evaporated, arsenic to arsenic oxide, evaporated, antimony to antimony oxide, evaporated, and ore is also partially oxidized, that is CuFeS2 is converted to copper sulfide, ferrous sulfide followed by sulfur dioxide. Along with this, some portion of the sulfide ore is also getting oxidized in the current of oxygen to corresponding oxides, like Cu2S is converted to Cu2O, FeS is converted to FeO also. But here small quantity of the sulfide ore is converted to oxide. As a result of smelting, we end with the copper sulfide as well as the ferrous sulfide, along with the small amount of copper oxide, and the ferrous oxide is present, and this is subjected for the smelting process. So as a result of roasting, we end with these particular things, and this is subjected for the smelting process. In the smelting, this particular ore is mixed with the coke as well as silica, and it is smelted into the blast furnace with the excess supply of air, that is oxygen. Whatever the formed sulfur oxide, copper oxide is there, cuprous oxide, that cuprous oxide combines with the available ferrous sulfide and it is converted to, once again, the copper sulfide followed by ferrous oxide formation takes place, because iron has having more ability to attain chemical combination with the oxygen compared to the copper, hence the double displacement reaction takes place. Thus whatever the small amount of cuprous oxide is there, that cuprous oxide is converted to cuprous sulfide. So therefore whatever this copper is there, that copper is present in the form of cuprous sulfide, and now we are having some amount of ferrous sulfide also, this ferrous oxide also. This ferrous oxide is there, and along with this ferrous sulfide is also undergoes oxidation with the available oxygen, and it is converted to ferrous oxide followed by volatile gas sulfur dioxide formation takes place. This ferrous oxide is having basic nature, and here we are taking the silica. Silica is having acidic nature, both combines and leads to the formation of ferrous silicate. As a slag it can be removed. As a whole of the entire process of the smelting, at the end of the smelting we get a liquid at the bottom of the blast furnace which is covered by the slag, that is ferrous silicate, that can be removed easily, whereas that particular liquid is a mixture of two things. One is it is consisting of Cu2S, that is cuprous sulfide followed by ferrous sulfide is present in that. Major quantity of the cuprous sulfide is there and minor quantity of the ferrous sulfide is present in the molten state, and that particular mixture is said to be the mate. Mate is a combination of cuprous sulfide and the ferrous sulfide. fusion mixture is said to be the mate which is obtained in the smelting process of the extraction of the copper in the dry techniques. Yes, as a result of smelting, we end with the mate. Mate is combination of the cuprous sulfide as well as the ferrous sulfide, whereas major content of the cuprous sulfide is there and minor content of the ferrous sulfide is present. And it is subjected for the Bessemerization. Bessemer converter, a special designed equipment is there. In this, whatever the mate obtained, mate followed by sand in the current of oxygen gas at high temperature reactions are occurring. So therefore, in the current of oxygen, what happens is, as I said in the beginning, ferrous sulfide is having higher ability for the oxygen. It combines with the oxygen and that is converted to ferrous oxide, whereas the ferrous oxide, whatever is formed, combines with the silica, acid-base reaction takes place, that is ferrous silicate slag formation takes place. Here no more ferrous sulfide is there, whole ferrous sulfide is converted and it is removed in the form of ferrous silicate. Whereas whatever the copper sulfide is there, some portion of copper sulfide is converted to copper oxide. The copper oxide and the copper sulfide recombines with one another and participates in auto reduction process that leads to the formation of copper followed by what? Sulfur dioxide. Molten copper, whatever is obtained, that is poured out and it is allowed to cool. As a result, whatever the dissolved sulfur dioxide is present, that will comes out and appears the commencement of sulfur dioxide gas outside the surface of the copper appears in the form of blisters. Hence, this particular copper is said to be the blister copper. Refining of copper can be done in two ways. One is by Pohling method, second one is electrolytic refining. In Pohling, the impure copper is taken in the reverberatory furnace and which is lined with the silica, and a current of oxygen gas is sent in the molten situation. Temperature is maintained to reach to the molten situation, then high current of oxygen gas is sent. As a result, some of the copper is converted to cuprous oxide and the other whatever things are there, these of all are getting oxidized to corresponding oxides which are maybe volatile, or they may combine with the silica and they can form slag and they can be removed. Now on making this one to react with the green wood logs, newly cut, freshly cut green wood logs acting as source of hydrocarbons, they reduces all other oxides related to the copper, that is copper oxide will be converted to copper. Thus we will be getting almost 95.5% purity of the copper. Yes, electrolytic refining. In this, an electrolytic cell consisting of an electrolyte of 15% of copper sulfate, 5% of sulfuric acid is taken. Whereas here the impure, whatever the blister copper is obtained by the smelting of the Bessemerization related to the copper, that is taken as anode, and whereas the pure copper sheets are taken as cathode. Here the more electropositive impurities present in the blister copper like ferrous, nickel, cobalt, zinc are dissolving in the electrolytic solution on doing electrolysis, whereas less electropositive impurities like silver, rhodium, platinum can't dissolve and present in the form of mud at the bottom of the corresponding impure, that is anodic portion, and that is said to be the anodic mud. Now let us go for the chemical reaction that is going to be happening. Whereas this electrolyte is consisting of copper, at anode what happens is the impure copper is getting dissolved. Yes, at anode oxidation takes place. Oxidation is losing of electrons. The impure copper is getting dissolved in the form of copper 2+ followed by losing of 2 electrons. When it dissolves, all the impurities present in it also getting dissolved in the electrolyte. Whereas at cathode, reduction takes place. That is, whatever the copper 2+ ions are dissolved, the same quantity, same number of copper 2+ ions after taking electrons participate in reduction and getting deposited over the corresponding compartment, that is on cathode compartment they will be getting deposited. Like this, it is going to be dissolving and it is getting to be deposited over one layer under the other. As a result, pure copper is going to be obtained. We will be getting almost a 99.9% purity of the copper by this electrolytic refining method. In wet process, that is hydrometallurgical process, a huge number of copper sulfide ore is exposed towards the air or atmosphere or the rainwater. As a result, it is slowly oxidized to copper sulfate in years gap. Whereas that copper sulfate aqueous solution on reaction with the scrap iron, that is converted to Fe2 plus compounds, that is ferrous sulfate is formed, followed by copper precipitate formation occurs. Because here ferrous is more electropositive than the copper. Zinc, the important ores of zinc are zinc blende ZnS, calamite zinc carbonate, followed by the others like zinc cell ZnO is there, willemite zinc sulfate is there, and is extracted by the carbon reduction method. The technique used for the extraction of the zinc from the ores is carbon reduction method. Yes, zinc is generally extracted by the carbon reduction process, whereas the general ores taken for the zinc extraction are, one is zinc sulfide, that is zinc blende, second one is zinc carbonate, that is calamine. Whereas the zinc sulfide in the first step it is concentrated by using fourth flotation technique. Zinc carbonate is separated, that is concentrated by the gravity separation. If it is consisting any of the ferrous oxide, it is separated by the magnetic separation. And the second step is calcination or the roasting, both. In calcination or the roasting process, zinc carbonate on heating, it is converted to zinc oxide followed by carbon dioxide. Whereas zinc sulfide on heating with oxygen, some portion is converted to zinc oxide, some portion is converted to zinc sulfate. That zinc sulfate once again undergoes decomposition to zinc oxide to sulfur dioxide as well as oxygen. As a result of the calcination and the roasting process, we end with the zinc oxide. Now the next part is reduction of zinc oxide to zinc. Whereas this reduction of zinc oxide to zinc is done with the carbon, hence this process is said to be the carbon reduction process. It is reduction of zinc oxide to zinc. Generally, this is reduced by the carbon, that is anthracite is used, and temperature is maintained as 1400 to 1450 degrees centigrade. Whereas zinc oxide is on reaction with carbon is converted to zinc followed by carbon monoxide. Zinc oxide on reaction with carbon monoxide is converted to zinc followed by carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide also at that high temperature decomposes to carbon monoxide and the oxygen. And it is done in the Belgian process, which is an old process. And here heating is done oftenly by the producer gas. Clay pipe which is connecting the two retorts is acting as a condenser. Whereas metal zinc is collected partially in the fused state and some other in the solid state, that is powdered state. Whereas here zinc oxide and the carbon both combines with one another at high temperature produced by the producer gas, and it is converted to zinc followed by the carbon monoxide, which is a gas. Zinc in the form of vapor travels from this condenser, cools over here, and it reaches to the second retort. Whereas here if it is more cooled, converted to the fused state, and it is collected as a liquid at the corner, whereas the gas is spread over the retort. Whereas the carbon monoxide gas coming out of the splinter will burns with the blue edged flame, confirms the presence of carbon monoxide. Thus, after the completion of the process, the total zinc oxide is converted to zinc of certain molten state, some of them in the powdered state. Thus, zinc is reduced. By the reduction of zinc oxide, zinc is obtained. Yes, the pure zinc can be obtained from the crude zinc, and it can be purified by liquefaction, otherwise the distillation techniques. And the very pure form of zinc can be obtained from the electrolytic processes of the zinc. For aluminium, refer the video of the boron family. Uses of metals: aluminium used in wrappers for covering of the chocolates and the decorative items. The dust of aluminium used in paints as well as lacquers, and in the extraction of chromium as well as the manganese. Wires are used for the conduction purpose, household utensils, alloys, as a deoxidizer in metallurgy, in transport of nitric acid, and also used as a painting for the upper surface of the iron. Similarly, copper wires are used for the conduction, for water and the steam circulations. Alloys like zinc combination with copper is said to be the brass, and the tin combination is said to be the bronze, and the nickel combination is used for the kinase metals, And in the galvanization of the iron, mostly it is used in the batteries, and the many varieties of alloys can be made with the combination of copper. Zinc is acting as reducing agent and also used in dye stops as well as the paints preparation. And the uses of iron, the cast iron used in casting of many varieties of the things and in the manufacture of wrought iron. Wrought iron is used in the making of anchors, chains, whereas the agri implements, nuts, bolts, etc. Steel is having many applications in household. All varieties of kitchenery items are made from the steel and also used for making of many varieties of alloys. Nickel steel, it is used for cables, automobiles, aeroplane spare parts, pendulum, and the measurement tapes are made from the nickel steel. Chrome steel for cutting tools and the crushing machinery are made from the chrome tools. And stainless steel, it is used for the cycles, automobiles making, pens making, etc. These are the uses related to the metals in the daily life.